Every year, the federal government gives $150 billion in financial aid for college to 15 million students. Terry Savage is here to answer questions about that. This time of year, everyone wants to know about those FAFSA forms. I don't even know what that means, but...
well, you will when your kids get a little bit older. Parents of high school seniors need to listen up right now. By the way, did you procrastinate on your... I bet you had your term papers done a week ahead, Larry.
Not me.
No. You did.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'm telling you, this is one college lesson you have to learn. Don't procrastinate, and especially about FAFSA. It used to be in January you would file the FAFSA forms, but now it starts October 1st. So here's what to do, and there's a whole column at terrysavage.com with this and more. Start by going to FAFSA. That stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. The website, and you'll file online, is fafsa.ed.gov. When you go there, you'll need to get a PIN and an ID. And the child needs to get his or her own ID, and the parents get theirs. They're both going to work on this FAFSA form. The big thing this year that's going to make it easier is your taxes will be automatically brought in from the IRS. They have an auto retrieval tool. It'll be the tax return you filed last April 15th for the year 2016. If circumstances have changed, you will go and contact the financial aid offices if a parent lost a job. But they're going to use the information off that tax return you filed last April. List the schools that you want to apply to. Now, here's a Terry's tip. If you're applying to state schools, list those first, especially like University of Illinois. They have earlier deadlines, and they look and they see, and if you're higher on the list, they look at yours first, because they run out of money fast.
Them?
You prioritize them.
I see.
They run out of money fastest, the state schools, so put them first, even if you're going to go somewhere else. And finally, you're going to have to, this is so intrusive, it's worse than your tax forms. You have to disclose all your assets, except for the value of your home, the value of your retirement accounts, and the value of your life insurance. And remember, student assets weigh 5 times more heavily against you, custodial accounts in the name of the student. So read the column at terrysavage.com on that.
Real quickly, there's people that have, who have kids that age who have said to me, I'm not going to fill that out because I know we're really in that bracket in the middle class, because they're going to have all this information and we're not going to get any money anyway.
That's not necessarily so. There are plenty of other programs that your child might qualify for. It is absolutely worth filling out the FAFSA form. Definitely do that. Even though you think you won't qualify, you want to have it on record. There are other things that schools use, scholarships and so forth, that have financial aid implications.
Do the child's assets include the 529s or no?
No. Well, the 529 is a parental asset.
Okay.
But if the grandparents own it, it's not disclosed until the year in which you take the money out to pay for school, and then it becomes a student asset. So you want to save that till the senior year of college. Read that in the column, okay?
Gotcha.
By the way, if you don't, it's a lot of money, but individually it doesn't always amount to enough to go to college, for sure. So you want to look for scholarships. That's another thing. Don't procrastinate. Go to scholarships.com now, right, in the fall, and look at some of the things that you can start applying for in January. Do some of the prerequisites there. I'm going to write a column on that. There's some weird scholarships there. It's worth filling out all the details at scholarships.com or fastweb.com.
All right.
And then one more thing. That is this. It's not enough still with the scholarships and the loans. Parents can go find out private student loans as well as PLUS loans, and start at salliemay.com. That's for private student loans. I just want to say one more thing. Don't rule out a very expensive school, because when you get your financial aid letter, you can say, look, my daughter got accepted to state, and they're paying so much. Don't you really want her? Would you give us a little more? So don't give up without filling out FAFSA, doing it early, and getting that in.
All right. We have questions from viewers. My daughter just put a freeze on her credit through Equifax. She will be applying with FAFSA for her second year of dental school. Will the freeze prevent her from receiving federal loans?
No, because one of the things you notice is that they don't check for your credit on federal financial loans. So that will not impact her. They won't even go check your credit report for federal student loans. Private loans, yes, that does depend on credit.
You have to fill that out for every year of college?
Every single year, for which you hope to get aid. So get started. You're going to do this a lot.
Oh, my Lord.
I have a question from a loyal viewer, Dennis. He says, is it cheaper to use a financial advisor at my bank or use an outside financial broker with regard to fees? Do
Well,
they charge
it depends. Always ask your financial advisor, what are they charging? Is this in addition to commissions on the products and services they sell you? Is this an overall 1%? Or could you do it yourself at Fidelity or Vanguard for 1/4%? Fees are important. It's always worth paying for good advice, so you want to check out the background and the kinds of experiences that the financial advisor has.
All right. Well, here's another question. While 2 of the 3 credit reporting companies quickly and easily processed my request for a credit freeze, Experian processed my wife's request but denied mine. I have no idea why, and it is impossible to talk to a human to clarify.
All of these questions you have about not being able to get in, not late at night, they're a mess. I mean, we hope that they're protected and well organized, but they've been overwhelmed. And I can't imagine why you'd be denied, but send a certified letter, return receipt requested, with your request for the freeze. That should get their attention very quickly, and they must process that by state law within 10 days.
All right. How much cash can I give an adult children with no tax paid by them?
You can give anything to anybody, and the recipient of a gift does not owe taxes. That's for starters. However, in your lifetime, combining your will and your gifts made during your lifetime, if you give away more than $5.45 million, so that applies to most of our audience, right? Then there's a gift tax involved. You can give away $14,000 a year, each you and your spouse, to anyone, and that won't be applied against that huge gift tax credit. So if you want to give money away, give it to anybody. They don't owe taxes. Keep track of it, though.
I thought it was like $10,000 limit or something.
It was in the olden days. It's moved up to $14,000.
In the old-timey days, Larry.
Back in the 60s during your first marriage.
Quiet.
Divorce settlements are tax-free if they're division.